Hi everybody, and welcome to another Matthew's Modelling. Got this video quite quick after the 3D Sentinel print video. I want to get these videos out quick as possible, lots to show you. So this one, as I mentioned a while back, is a look at some NCB Locos. As you all know, or should know, that big little loco fan, big shunter fan, and that obviously feeds well into industrial locos and collieries, things like that, and NCB. NCB had loads of wonderful little locos, loads of little shunters, all in bright liveries, things you wouldn't expect on a little loco, and I just love the theme. I just love it. So I turned my attention to a couple of older locos that I have in my fleet. Now, you have seen these before. These aren't new locos, these are old locos that have been worked on. I'd already done things to them, but I've just I've brought them back a little bit, and just given them a new flavour to follow my my latest interest. So the first one I'm going to show you now, these aren't mega locos. They're not, big fancy singing dancing locos. These are some old little Hornby locos. But the first one I want to show you is this. So this is my Hornby 06. Now this is a loco right from the start of Common Barn. I think this was actually the first loco I bought new when I started Common Barn, when I got back into my modelling, and it was left in pristine condition for a long time, in the BR blue with yellow ends. Then when I got into my weathering, things like that, this is one of the first ones to be tackled. And I was really happy with the weathering job I gave this. It was one of my first attempts, and I've never touched it ever since, because I was that happy with the first attempt. It was one of the first locos that I'd done, and that I'd done well enough to be happy to keep it as it is. And then a little longer passed, and I started to do some detailing jobs in it when I got more knowledgeable on my shunters and things like that, and I realised how bad the Class 06 loco is. As a representation of the prototype. I did some work, so I added the ladder there on the top that just comes down from the filler cap, and then I also added, there's some white piping along the front. Maybe if I just turn it round like so, there is some piping there along the front that I also added after doing some research on the prototype, and also removed the big ugly coupling off the front. So they were the first things or one of the last things, sorry, that I did to the 06, and it's been like that for ages. I run it now and then, and it stayed in that condition. But then, whilst I've been on my NCB theme and stuff like that, and I also came into the NCB transfers, I thought, what else can I get doing? So I changed my little 06 into NCB. Now I may have to zoom in for this, but where you can see the NCB letter in there is where the BR logo used to be, and all I've done, I'm going to focus, come back a bit, all I've done is painted a blue square over that BR logo, and I've left it brighter than the rest of the body. So I didn't weather that gloss square down. I wanted it to purposefully look like the NCB had got a hold of my next BR logo, and as they used to do, they would quickly cover up a logo and just get their NCB lettering on it, and make it their own. So that's all I've done. I've just painted a blue square. The staff got a blue as near as they could, but hopefully you can still tell it's different. And they painted over the BR logo, and then they whacked their NCB lettering on it. They've kept the number on the cab. Makes no difference to them what number's on it or not, really. And then they've taken the they've taken the 06 and made it one of their NCB locos. And I'm rather happy with it. If I'll just turn it round, I've done the same on the other side. This other side isn't as weathered as the other. The other side is a lot more heavier with black washes, but this side I was left in kind of a dry brushed condition. But there you go, the NCB lettering still visible there. So yeah, I've just worked it a little bit and worked it into my new interest. So that's the first one I wanted to show you. The next loco, slightly similar, one you've already seen before, but I'll just go grab that now and change the camera position, so just bear with me. Right, I'm back. Just slightly changed the camera, because when I shoot the camera from the other side it's not really going to pick up the nice, or what I think is a nice colour on this loco. Right, second one, another old one, another one that's been seen before. I'm just going to bring it straight in and crack on. So this is my very old, and I mean old as in from when I was a child, Hornby pug. This was in the BR black. Quite smart of these, I must admit, these old Hornby pugs in there, just the plain BR black with the logo. But again, this was one of the locos that became subject to my weathering practice and getting into that. And this ended up with a dry brushed rust over the entirety of it, and then I left it like that after I decided it looked rubbish. I never touched it again. And then, as with the 06, I went to a second stage of work on it, and I picked out the white lamps on the back and added the yellow buffer beams, which are not going to be to everybody's taste, but for me who's into industrial locos and things like that, it was something I wanted to do. And then it sat rusty with yellow beams for quite some time. And then actually, this new loco that's around that I'm going to show you, when that turned up I was so amazed with the weathering on it. I had decided to get this back out and have a redo at it. So I've taken away a lot of the rust that was on it, and it's now just very heavily covered in black washes. There's a few white streaks along the top by the domes, which I'd already done. But yeah, I took it back and just gave it really heavy black, a black appearance. I then added some more NCB lettering, as you can hopefully see on the side of the tank there. I'll try and zoom in on that. There we go. I went for some small yellow lettering. That's just over where the BR logo is, so that's covered that up nice. And then I decided to take away the cab number on this one. So again, there's just a black square painted there by the staff over the number, and this is NCB loco number 2. So I'm really happy with it now. It's obviously giving it a different scope. I was happy with it anyway because I just love these yellow buffer beams on industrial steam locos, as you saw in my pannier tank. If I just turn it round, this side's the same. Now this side hasn't got the NCB lettering on it, but it has got the number 2. And hopefully you can tell that it's rather black. The roof is especially black, and around the front of the loco I did quite heavy black. But I've still got plans to revisit it. I want to get some real colour in the small little bunkers in front of the cab, and I'd like to paint up the cab inside as well. But yeah, so that's it for this Matthews modelling. So I just wanted to show you these couple of older locos that I've worked on and taken to NCB territory. These two aren't the only locos I've worked on. I have another loco, another one which you know, a loco that has gone through many disguises since I've owned it, and it is now in another disguise, a disguise that I am especially happy with. It's NCB themed again, but I'm holding off on showing you that because I do actually only have the body at the minute. The chassis is on loan to a friend, and when I get the weathered chassis back to go with this weathered body, you'll obviously see in its full effect. I do have other chassis I could put it on, but I don't think it's going to get the effect as it would with an older dulled down weathered chassis. So I don't know when that will be, but I'm just telling that there is another NCB loco that I have done and that I'm very happy with. But that's it for this video. Next video, I'll try and churn it out as quick as possible after this one. I'll show you the new Loco. Really excited to show you this. I'll definitely do some running in the video because it is absolutely lovely. So watch out for them, and I think we'll wrap it up there. So thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one, and bye bye.